No,
Brits
well,
found
it
it
was
and they brought people
initially
there.
tried to, but we said nope, we're not for it, and we fucked them up. We were the only country to do that first.
We were founded in the same way. The British Empire found
It doesn't
Little
matter
Island.
Yeah, founding in the same way and continuing in that same way are two different things. You still have the Queen on your money, which is absurd. You're a different.
Yes,
And
and
you
you
guys
put
have
"In God We
continent.
Trust" next to the
In
portrait of
God
an
we
atheist.
trust,
Oceania.
goddamn it.
No, you're Oceania. You should not even be close to the Queen.
You put "In God We Trust" next to a fucking portrait of an atheist.
Hey, I don't give a fuck about any of that. See, now you're bringing up religion. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. I'm not religious.
So then what makes you think we care if the fucking Queen's on our money?
Because we have our actual statesmen, our fucking leaders on our money, not the Queen from fucking England that we don't even fucking acknowledge anymore. You guys still acknowledge it. Hundreds of years later. We got rid of that 250 years ago.
We've got the Queen on our coins, we've got Banjo Patterson and fucking all these other cunts on
Yeah,
our
and you know, in our
cash.
coins, we have our forefounders and our fucking constitutional rights founders. That's it.
Pretty
You guys
sure
have
the
fucking
only
things-
note that has the Queen on it is a 5, and that's it.
Yeah, because I know the
Well,
10's got
even
Patterson on it.
Even still, you still like acknowledge those things. You need to get rid of it. Tell those English people to fuck off, you cunts. Get out of my shit. Let me do my own shit.
Why?
Because you're your own country. You're not England.
We are independent, but we have relations with them. It's called the Commonwealth.
Yeah, we have relations with them too. I'm friends with the English too. It doesn't matter. They have their own shit. We have our own shit. We have our own sovereign fucking shit. We have our own nation. We're free nation. They're their own shit. That's what they want to do. We don't want to do that. So we have George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Jackson. We got rid of all that shit. We were like, fuck all you guys. We got our own shit. Fuck off. We told them to suck our dicks, and they did. And we ended up fucking them up, and they left. That's it.
Something's not right here.
Eagle, you're my son. Just remember that.
Can you fuck off and stop calling me that? Seriously.
I'm just kidding. I know. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt you from doing anything. I like you, kid. You're good. But now you have a knowledge of American history. There was never a thing where Americans thought chocolate milk came from brown cows. It's funny though. Sounds like a drunken guy from Australia would say something like that. In Ohio. How's naming one state in the Midwest to do with a giant country with 350 million people? That makes sense.
No, not Detroit! Take him to Detroit.
You just keep naming. I like how you guys keep naming the areas that, like, obviously you know nothing about.
No, bro, we're just taking the piss. We're just fucking with you.
I know, but
And you're
what's funny
taking
though
the
is 'cause,
bait.
like,
Dude, you're taking the bait.
I know, but it's like these areas are so random. It's like, what? Detroit, Ohio, okay. It's like, yeah, our country is gigantic. We have 350 million people.
Not like that's a good
Like,
thing.
I live on the West Coast where it's like neutral and like nice people.
And you've got to have no foregrips on your long guns. And retarded grips. And you
Well,
can't have 50 cals.
We can if you go like one state over and buy it. We go to Texas or something. And I have. Because I love guns. And you will never take that away from me. I fucking love guns. I don't understand how anyone couldn't like them. They're like so fun. Just shooting targets
You know
and
when
blowing
you
them up.
you know when you fund a terrorist organization to get rid of a terrorist organization that you funded, to get rid of a terrorist organization that you funded, to get rid of a
England did
terrorist
too.
organization that you funded, to get rid of a terrorist
England did too.
organization that you funded, to get rid
You
of a
said it 4
terrorist
times.
organization that you funded,
Yeah.
to get a terrorist organization that you funded.
England did too. Okay. France did too. That's fine. Keep going.
What, the Foreign Legion?
I don't give a fuck. You're acting as if I'm a person of the government and like I have control over anything of that. The government is tyrannical. Every government is tyrannical. I don't have any power over that. All I have the power over is
He used the T
I
word.
have the power of the Second Amendment, which means if the government becomes tyrannical towards its own people, you have your right to bear arms against them.
Tyrannosaurus. Rawr.
I know, you guys don't like hearing facts.
All
mean? I
governments
love
are
facts
tyrannical,
machines.
guys.
It's called being liberal.
We live in a society.
I don't like angles.
Angles are tyrannical.
Hey, we might as well get rid of knives. I can't cut steak anymore because those are tyrannical. I can kill someone with it. I can't get rid of my car. I can kill someone with my car. It's tyrannical.
Hey guys,
Damn
I don't
right,
like
you're
Bob
lucky you
next
have the
door.
license
I'm
to
gonna call
drive a
him
car.
Nazi.
I mean, you could very well just have them taken away, considering that they're more dangerous than anything else, really.
You guys drive on the left side of the road. You guys need to get your shit together. You're like one of 3 countries that drives on the left side of the road.
Yeah, which means I can shift with my left hand and control where the right hand.
You know where the whole saying comes from? Everyone else says you're wrong, but you're the only one saying they're wrong, but you think they're all wrong when they're all saying you are. That's the same thing with your driving. 3 countries on the side of the road that says the left against 150 plus telling you no, it's on the right side. You're wrong. You need to accept that.
The Virgin Ford Taurus versus the Chad Ford Falcon. The Virgin
I don't know
Chevrolet
what that
versus the Chad Holden. The Virgin Chrysler versus
I
the
think you're trying
Chad
to make
Valiant.
a joke that's really not funny and makes no sense.
Every American car except for my car, which is first gen Falcon, almost every American car sucks.
I think
Goddamn boat.
Actually, after like 1970, that's the cutoff. Oh, 76.
76. Hey, mate.
Yeah, that's because you guys brought in the emissions regulations and got everything choked to all fuckery.
I don't know what that means, but sure.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas over
Well,
in
you just-
Australia,
you
we
just
basically...
said something that made no sense.
I said, after 76, all American cars sucked, because he's got the emission laws in, and everything got choked to shit.
You want,
See, the
you
way
want
that the
emission
Americans-
laws? Is that what you're saying?
The way that yous handled your emission laws is you choked the fuck up with fucking three-way bloody...
Why do you
call them?
care
Three-way
about
cats and
global
three-way
warming?
exhausts. Well, yous fucking choked up your cars and all that, making them shite. And then we basically went,
They're the
"We'll
best
just make
cars
them
in the
more
world.
efficient."
70s and 60s and 70 cars in America were the best cars in the world.
Yeah, they were pretty good. I said anything after 76.
No, they were the best.
Anything after 76 sucked.
No, it was after about 78 to 81 it sucked.
Name me a
And
car
that was
from there that
because
doesn't suck.
because of actual prices for gasoline. So we started making our cars shitty because of gasoline prices.
What's the power to weight ratio on a 78 DeVille?
You don't know anything about a DeVille.
Yeah, I do.
This is
DeVille?
absurd talk.
What?
To talk
gonna
to
make
an
a 4-ton
Aussie
car.
who's younger than me
We're
and
gonna
I'm a
make
young
a
guy
4-ton car.
about a 78 DeVille does make no sense at all.
We're gonna
Yeah,
make
bro,
a
because
4-ton
he's
car.
young, he doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
I'm young too, stupid. That's what I just fucking said. You don't understand? Listen to everything. Don't listen to one part that you want to make sure that's what you have in your brain to regurgitate. You need to hear
Maybe
everything.
you should word
Don't-
it better. Stop being such a fucking troglodyte.
I didn't read anything. I said it. I'm not reading shit. I'm listening to what this motherfucker is saying, and I said it back. No one's
Let's
gonna
make a
tell me about a
4-ton car.
78 DeVille, about my country, about when a car that I wasn't even fucking around for either, and tell me about what about these ratios in the 78 DeVille, man? It's like, dude, what the fuck do you even know? You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I fucking do.
You're literally trying to look into something to be like, oh, global warming, mate, global warming, or some shit like that. I don't give a fuck.
What?
Think I give two shits?
I mean, you
said
already
every
say the
car-
vaccine doesn't work, so I wouldn't be surprised if you said global warming's a hoax and doesn't exist.
I said
global
every
warming is a
American
real
car-
thing without humans on the Earth. When the dinosaurs were on the Earth, the global warming fucking emissions were like 20 times higher than they are now, because it's just a natural occurrence of the Earth spinning around the sun for thousands and thousands and thousands, of hundreds of thousands of millions of years. That's how it worked.
Eh?
What?
It really
The
has
fuck
nothing
kind
to
of
do with
crap
cars.
Did you just speak?
Global warming is caused
Global
by the-
warming has nothing to do with humans.
Yes, it does.
We can
How do
Naturally
you think it's
occurring.
been observed to have increased
It's a
during the
naturally
fucking...
occurring. It was going on before humans were here, dude. The global warming dude, you guys are so fucked. The
If the
emissions of
world
global
was
warming were
literally without
gnarlier in the dinosaur time.
True
Way
revolutions,
gnarlier.
the
when
world would
humans
go
weren't
in
even
and
here.
out between ice ages.
Alright, getting back to original topic, I said every American car after 1976 sucked. You didn't know what I meant when I was talking about the 78 DeVille. Is because you said 78, they were still good. Let's make a
It
4-ton
was.
car, let's put a 250 fucking cubic inch Chrysler motor in it that is choked up with cats and
Well, we
mufflers
wouldn't
and
have done
everything.
that.
It makes 95 horsepower and goes from 0 to 60 about the same time that you win a war. Which is you go through it for a bit and then you give up.
I don't even know what the point of this is.
Fucking... I said every American car after 1976 sucks. Because I said fucking Virgin American cars versus Chad Australian cars. To compare, the ZH Fairlane, which my grandfather had, it was his fucking nice car, his family sedan. It had a 351 in it. Didn't have to worry about emissions regulations because it was fucking Australia. Made a fuck ton of horsepower and could walk a fucking... I'll probably not walk a Tirana because fucking XU1s were around at that time. Probably fucking walk a modern day Bommodore. Nah, just my grandfather, he was a cane farmer, he had tons of fucking money. And so he spent it on a real nice family sedan.
Your grandpa, like, he had good taste. He knew American cars were good.
It's a ZH Fairlane, you cunts didn't get that.
Dude, this is... literally, what you just said is the most absurd thing to try to discuss. Because there's no topic to that. That makes no sense.
American
had a
cars
car
versus
imported to
Australian
you.
cars.
At the end of, like, the golden era of American cars. What the fuck am I supposed to talk to you about that?
First off, Fairlanes are a line of British cars originally started.
Hey,
Oh
go
yeah.
talk to the
Your
British
Mustang.
then. Go
Your
talk to your
Mustangs are
fucking
based
British
off of
friends
my
then,
car.
right?
Your Mustangs are based off of my car. My
If you want to talk
Falcon,
anything
which
like
was Australian.
75, like 65 to 75, I can talk to you about. But if you're talking about an
Alright.
imported car from 78 to Australia, you're literally making no
It's not
point
imported.
whatsoever.
We built it. We fucking
Well, then
built it.
that's even more ridiculous. That I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You probably put parts in it that don't even exist in it normally.
Stock as a
What
rock,
do you
mate.
mean?
What do you mean? You said you
There's
built it. You can
Yeah,
build
the
a car
country-
with a
the
body.
country built it.
Australia built it! Broadmeadows
You can have
Assembly
a
Plant
body-
in Castlemaine,
you can have
Victoria
a body-
fucking built it!
All right, shut up, you little girl. You can have a body of a car from any country and then build an engine. It doesn't mean that's
No,
the
but that's
car
not how
from that
they-
country.
This motherfucker starts a conversation, and then when you say something that proves him wrong in the conversation, no, I don't know what you mean. You're just bringing shit up.
That's
Okay,
not
have you
what
seen
I
that
said at
fucking
all.
video of that vegan protester that a bunch of the militant vegans like? He does these arguments on Discord, and basically he doesn't let the actual other person speak. They start saying something. He's like, the fact, the fact, the fact, the fact, the fact, the fact. The fact is,
that's
let me
really annoying.
finish.
Stop
Let
saying
me
the fact.
finish.
That's
Let me
like
finish.
annoying as
Let me
shit.
finish. Stop talking. Stop
Jesus
talking. Stop
Christ,
talking.
mate.
Stop talking.
Dude, you're annoying. Straight up. So annoying. He's telling me it's got a 78, built it on my own house. Okay, well, what is the car? This car. Okay, what is the engine? We built it ourselves. Well, that doesn't mean anything. You just means you have a body of a car.
I didn't build it. Ford Australia built it, and my argument is Ford Australia is much better than Ford America.
Amen.
Well, that's 100% false, but okay.
Name an American Ford, and I will beat it.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Australia Ford is better than American Ford.
Name an
We
American
made, like
Ford.
the best engines in the world.
Ford
What, you
Barra.
mean like the fucking 144?
Dude, literally Ford engines are used in like fucking sports cars from other countries because they're so reliable. They're like the best engines in the
Name
world.
one.
The most reliable of the bunch being the Barra.
Because you just
The
made
Barra
no
and
sense
its
in the first
predecessor,
place.
the Intec.
I had a 78,
The Intec.
and then we built an engine ourselves, and I'm like, okay, well, what does that matter if you build an engine yourself? If you have a body of a car, you can build any engine you want. You can build a lawnmower fucking engine in there. That doesn't mean anything.
Again, I didn't build the car. My grandfather didn't build the car.
Exactly.
Nobody
but
in my family built the damn car. Ford Australia
Grandfather
built
put a
it.
fucking
We designed
engine
the
there.
fucking...
It's
Ford
really hard to
Australia
talk to you guys
designed the
because you
car
don't want to
and
listen
built
to
it.
reason.
This motherfucker with selective hearing.
You guys need to realize that you don't want to listen to reason. You want to always be right. You just always want to be right. Like, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right.
What makes you think I'm wrong?
Because you said something that was false. I can tell you it's false.
Then prove me wrong, for fuck's sake.
His
Name
car.
an American
And
Ford.
my grandpa is trying to build an engine for it. That makes no sense because that engine isn't even the original engine anyway, so it's already out the window. It's false. You have a model of a car, which is the body, the metal, existential body, like the skeletal
Okay.
body.
That's not how imports work.
Listen very carefully.
See, I've built cars, and you
My
guys you don't know the-
grandfather did not build the car, he bought it.
I don't know what you're saying because you're yelling into your mic, and you sound like a fucking idiot.
My grandfather
I understood it
didn't
perfectly fine.
build the car. My
You heard what he
grandfather
said,
didn't
really?
build the car. He bought the car from Ford Australia. Ford Australia designed and built it, and it is better than an equivalent American Ford.
No, it's definitely.
So then prove me wrong.
and Ford makes American cars. And if you got it from Australia, it was from Ford America. That you literally are just talking yourself into a hole deeper and deeper and deeper. You sound like a fucking fool, an imbecile.
Okay. So go to a
That's what you
Ford
sound
dealer.
like.
Go to a
I
Ford
sound like
dealer in
something that's
America.
saying something that's like literally true. Hey man, yourself into a grave of truth. We don't want that nowadays. We want negative facts and false things because we want to argue and be angry about things. That's like what you're doing. You literally, that's what your kids are doing.
Okay, go and
What
buy
I'm
an AU
hearing
Falcon
is,
then.
what I'm hearing is someone's trying to say that vehicles are being built in Australia, and it's the Australian counterpart of the American.
Built there in the first place.
It's like the German BMWs being built in
Germans
Japan.
build better
They're
cars than
kinda
Americans.
different.
I will admit that. But you Australians are never building any cars better than anyone. Get the fuck out of here with your kangaroo shit. That's not true. You're an idiot. That's some fucking retarded shit. I've never heard someone say something so fucking ridiculously stupid. You're saying Ford in Australia is better than Ford in America? Ford came from America. How could that even be possible by definition?
Because it's a subcategory of a company.
No, it's not. It's a subcategory, exactly. So it's the subcategory of something that was special being taught to another land to make it hopefully special in the future. You are not better at making cars in Ford than here because them for you. That is the most stupid, absurd shit I've ever heard.
Okay,
you guys
let
sound
me
like
make it.
fucking imbeciles.
Let me change the perspective real quick. Okay, let's assume that you are a.
There is no changing your perspective in that situation.
Professional-
That is
No,
fucking
no.
stupid.
Hey, don't talk over me. Let's put into perspective. Let's say you are a professional craftsman of
Sense that.
boxes, right?
No,
you make boxes,
there's no
and
way
you
you're going to say
supposedly
someone
make
in
the best in the
Australia
world.
that was a better craftsman of Ford than in America. Makes no sense.
Can you let me finish speaking, or did you just talk over
I already
me?
know that's what you're going to say.
No. Let me finish. Why don't you just
No.
let me finish? Hey? Let's say that you're a professional builder of something, right? And let's say that there's someone new that does the same thing. They build the exact same thing, and they just so happen to be maybe better than you. Oh no! I did it
No.
first, so I'm better.
And they aren't Australian, by the way. The people we send there are American. So you're not making any sense. You're wrong. Get over it. Like, stop. It's stupid. That's like saying fucking the
Hi everybody, I'm Graham
fucking
from Ford.
Italians
Today we're
made
marking the
the
end of
goddamn
91 years of
Bugatti.
manufacturing in Australia.
Italians didn't make
And
the
saying
Bugatti.
thank you to the
The
wonderful
Germans
employees
did.
who've
The
contributed
Germans
a great deal
made the
to
Bugatti.
Ford. Now, as a tribute to our people and the living legacy
And there's
Falcon
no way that they're
created,
going to
we put
send
together the following.
Italians
Now, through a series of video
the
interviews,
fucking
we'll
information they know,
introduce
and
to
they're
you
going to be
some
better
of
at
the
it.
members
It's
of
Germans.
Ford Australia carrying Falcon's legacy.
So what you have in your company and Ford there are Americans helping you
helping
build
us
them,
move forward.
and the workers are Australian, but they are not the architect. They are not the
Ford
architect.
Motor Company of
Make it.
Australia formed on the 31st of March 1925. Model T production began
I don't understand
and
how you
assembly
fools don't
plants
see
opened
that.
in Geelong,
This is
Adelaide and
Fucking
Brisbane.
crazy.
In 1934, the world's first coupe utility, Model 40, was designed and built by Ford Australia. A $37 million expansion
and built.
program announced in 1950. And Ford moved to vehicles that
Americans
were
that are-
85% Australian made. Work started on the 17-acre assembly plant at Broadmeadows, with the site taking over assembly line production from Geelong in August 1959, with a capacity of 200 vehicles per day. On the 29th
It's
of
great
April
to design something
1960,
or have an
Geelong's
idea.
engine plant produced the first inline six-cylinder engine
Thing
for
that's
the
made
brand
is
new
by the
Falcon.
creators of the country that
1,800-acre
it's coming
proving
from.
ground was established at the U Gangs near Geelong in 1965, the beginning of what would become Ford's product development hub across Victoria. 5 new XP Falcons were taken there and driven a total of 70,000
That's not even a
miles
car in our
in a
country, that's your
durability run lasting 9 days.
And it's also made by
to
Americans.
demonstrate the Falcon.
Did you hear a single thing of that?
No, he was talking over it.
When people go to your country, how to make it good. This is how it works. We teach you. You're not the one creating it. We're the one telling you how to make it because we already created it. Do you understand how that works? You're not creating anything. You're making something that is already a creation of another country. We tell you how to create this engine. And so
when
go,
we
hey,
designed...
we're going to make more money in Australia while you make those cars. They're making money off of you from having those cars in your country.
Alright, so let me get this right. When we designed the XK Falcon, when we designed a sedan, and then later on designed a ute, panel van, and station wagon version, Americans
Might I add that Australia
somehow,
invented the ute as well?
pretty much, in its first practical off-the-shelf variants. So when that happened, when we started the line of Fords known as the Falcons, Americans just suddenly went back in time and did it first. Completely designed and built at the Broadmeadows Assembly Plant in Victoria, Australia. And then from there, Americans got the XK and were like, oh, this is shit, and they dropped it. Not realizing that, well, the XL, the XM, the XP, the XR, all be fucking good selling cars. Reliable, affordable, plenty of space for the whole family. While America was sucking themselves off with the fucking Taurus and all that shit, we made better fucking cars. And yes,
And then
a lot of
sold
good
them
Toyotas are made in Australia. Well, no, we didn't even sell them in America, because Americans
Well,
got
there
the
is
XK
some other
and
ones,
the
like
X...
Mondeos and the Fusion.
Yeah, but the Mondeo and the Fusion are British Ford. Actually, no, the Mondeo is Australian.
No, the Mondeo is Australian, and the Fusion is the American equivalent.
But everything
Yeah.
in that car was
It's
American.
Australian.
Put it to you this way, Americans, when they got the Falcons, they got the XK and I believe the XM, and after that, they went, oh, this is fucking shit, it don't got a V8, and then they fucking dropped it.
How's it go again?
Oh, fuck it, don't have an all aluminum pushrod V8 motor.
Yeah, he has been, because it's like, you bring up
You can't
any
say anything
glimpse.
because he talks over the top of you.
He's like, oh, you don't want to listen to the voice of reason. It's a very one-sided argument when you can't get any other words in.
Like I explained before, you know, just because you are the founding company doesn't mean that you designed everything. But then again, we all got to remember that Australia doesn't exist and we're all paid actors. We're all Americans and we're paid actors, guys. Port Arthur, yeah. Problem is you can't really say that America has mass shootings because of the definition of a mass shooting.
Put in your votes, people.
It's
Yeah,
kind
you
of
can
dumb.
still talk,
The
it'll be
definition of a
hilarious.
mass shooting is like it has to have like a certain number of people killed within a certain amount of time.
Oh,
Yeah,
mate.
kind of weird. May as well not even be called a mass shooting at that point. You may as well just fucking call it, you know, going nuclear or something.
They kill about 150 to 200,000 people.
Oh my god, he's still fucking talking!
He's talking that whole time, I
He
guess.
didn't even notice that he was gimped. He didn't even notice. Oh, that's hilarious. So when I was talking about fucking Australian cars, he would have been fucking... he would have been fucking arguing.
Well, that's bad because he missed half of it because he was probably talking over the top of you. And whenever you spoke, he probably turned up his volume so he could talk over you. See, whatever the fuck your name is, Gwimbao, you're alright until you started getting fucking cringily patriotic.
Why does that happen with most of the Americans? I actually know all but a group of Americans that I know. The actual real based Americans that I know,
There's plenty of people that are perfectly fine and friendly people, but there's some of them that are extremely patriotic to the point where if you fucking insult them and slightly, you'll just say that maybe we did something better. That no, goddamn America best.
I had some American friends that I used to play Half-Life with, like, a lot. And they were fucking great. I could have a joke with them, and I taught them how to swear like an Australian and things like that. Fuck, I hate people like that, where it's like you say any bit of an argument. Nope, you're wrong.
What annoys me is so there's some countries out there that try so hard, like countries that are like, you know, not quite first world but are on the way to it, and they still inspire to become America. They just copy America and try and become them. Why don't you do something better? Like, do it, country. Do something better. Sure, maybe you could take some of the freedoms and stuff they have, but don't do everything else they do. There is some better options. Your patriotic fucking behavior is cringe. For a 29-year-old, you're pretty fucking childish. Thought you would have probably a bit more wisdom than that. You argue like a kid. Oh, that's a tooth dryer.
Pretty good, eh? My idea is if he wants to pull his head out his ass and come back, it'll be all fine. Oh, you recorded it, how good.
I think Jack was recording